Hi. Okay, so I talked to a CPA this morning. I met with him because it's been a long time coming. I wanted to make sure that since for Kansas, I found out you have to actually pay your sales tax monthly. And so I wanted to make sure that when I got my form, it was like ST36 or something like that, that I was doing it correctly because it was a little bit intimidating. So luckily I was. And so everything should be fine. But he gave me some really good tips, and I wanted to share that with you as well. So one, he said you need to go to irs.gov, and in the search bar, look up Schedule C, and that is for your profit and your losses. And it will have a list of, in fact, I was looking at it today, just now, and it will have a list of expenses, and it will not list every expense. So for instance, it lists on here advertisement, it lists on here commissions and fees, it lists on here office expenses, traveling expenses. So traveling, you need to make sure that, especially with traveling, that you mark down what the event is, how much the event costs, how many miles. So for right now in Kansas, it's 53 cents a mile that we get. So I just had a what's it called? A vendor event that was 56 miles away. So that's so times that by 2, because you have to do that both ways, and then you get 53 cents a mile for that. I mean, that's a big chunk, coming that you're able to deduct or to add to your deductions. He also said when it came to giveaways, and this is really tricky because there's a lot of people that are telling a lot of different things. My CPA told me that when it came to giveaways, you can give away money, you can give away items. In the end, it's the same thing eventually, because if you're giving a pair of leggings, you still need to mark that you give away the leggings, but it costs us $9.50, so we're deducting $9.50 from our inventory. Because also, and a lot of people don't know this, that even though we have all this, we're doing all these deductions, your total inventory at the end of the year, you have to total up your wholesale inventory that you have in your house, because that doesn't go towards deductions. So let's say we have $12,000 in inventory, retail inventory. I know that's probably more than any of us will actually carry. Let's just say we have, 12,000 in, wholesale inventory. That actually goes towards, that's not deducted. So that actually goes towards our investment. And so that can actually hurt us in the end, having a ton of inventory. So maybe, when we go to the rep retreat, we better sell those suckers off quick. But anyways, so kind of got ahead of myself. So everything, and he said, the flights. We know that the flights for rep retreat is a tax deduction. Our meals are a tax deduction. If we have to take a taxi from the airport to the hotel, that's a tax deduction. Keep all your receipts. And I'm trying to think. So that was really good because it was the sales tax. Every state is different when it comes to sales tax and all the forms. But make sure, he just said, really be meticulous. He goes, it'll cost a lot less money if I have it all organized myself into categories, expense categories. It'll cost me less money in the end with the CPA, because then he won't have to categorize everything and it's less hours on him. He said get a binder, write down for columns, or use your Excel spreadsheet. I'm terrible with Excel, so I don't know, we'll see. But I need to sit down one day and waste hours and hours and hours of my life organizing all this. But it was just important for me to meet with the CPA, so I knew I was doing everything on my end correctly. Oh, that was another thing. So essentially, when it comes to Social Security, and then it comes from another tax, and I can't remember the name that he said, essentially it is 30, a little over 30, like 30 point something percent, less than 31%, more than 30%, that will be taken out of our net total when it comes to our sales. So because we have to pay both sides of Social Security. So let's just say I have 10,000 in net, just going to say 10,000 in net sales. I'm going to be having to pay a little less than $3,000 out of pocket for Social Security. So that's just kind of a heads up on, saving for, for taxes, for tax purposes. So, and that's really important. So that's just a quick, brief summary about making sure you keep your receipts, making sure you're writing everything down, making sure that, oh, that was another thing. Look at, see? Because we are using half of our house, or not even half our house, because I'm using a corner of my bedroom, because I have rearranged my house. I'm using a part of my bedroom. I'm using half of my garage. We're using electricity. I'm using my cell phone, my internet. This computer, honestly, only gets used by me. My kids are not allowed to touch it. So this will be, a tax deduction. So, he said just kind of average out how much usage you use for your business when it comes to internet. And then in our situation, because we're on a military base, is a little bit different. But what they do is they kind of take out the percentage, like square foot percent, out of our housing allowance, and we will be able to deduct that for my business. So, and that's every year. Man, maybe I should just take my whole upstairs area, like my master suite, and just turn it into the business. That would be awesome. So no, I'm just kidding. I like my area for me. But honestly, so they were talking about, your cell phone as your tax deduction, because you can use that, when you're paying, because you have to pay a monthly bill, if you're leasing, or if you're leasing with Sprint, or buying with Verizon, or whatever you're doing, and then your internet, and then your electricity, because we have to use our electricity. And so those were just little things that I didn't really think about. I think it crossed my mind a little bit, but I didn't really think about it. Merchant fees, that's a tax deduction. Shipping fees, if you're giving away free shipping, that's a tax deduction. So, that's something to think about as well. So I just wanted to let you know that, just kind of run it by really quick, and let you know what my CPA said. He was super, super nice. I'm going to try and organize myself a lot better so it costs me less with the CPA in the end. But I really do encourage you guys to go and see a CPA. It was free for me. We met for about 30 minutes, and it was really good advice he gave me. He was really nice. And I didn't have a ton of questions, but just mostly, stuff that he offered me that I didn't think about. I didn't even think about to ask when it came to my house and stuff like that. But he said, keep your receipts. He doesn't really look at the receipts so much. It's more for us in case the IRS does audit us. But with his company, 2 sets of eyes look at my taxes. And so we should be okay. Anyways, so print out those Amazon receipts, print out your monthly statements if you're using your credit card, print out everything. So I think that's it. Let me know if you have any other questions, and I might be able to help and answer them. All right. Talk to you later. Bye.